Hello, and welcome back to another Chris McPherson Show Daily Dose. It's time to dig into some women's Big Bash, and we are well underway in the tournament proper for season 2025. We're getting things underway in the T20 world, and we cannot be more pumped about it. The cricket is heating up, and we're looking forward to picking apart what's happened thus far in the season and some of the more notable performances. Of course, if you are joining us for the first time, whether you're joining us on YouTube or your favourite podcast platform, make sure to hit subscribe. That way you can keep up to date with all of our episodes when they are dropping on the regular, and you'll get some notifications if you hit that bell icon down below as well. But as I said, it is time to dig into the Women's Big Bash, and we'll start from the start of the competition. And it was the Melbourne Renegades, the defending champions, getting things underway thanks to the Duckworth-Lewis-Stern system, getting it done over the Brisbane Heat in Game 1. For the Melbourne Renegades, Georgia Wareham was the chief destroyer, taking 3 for 12 from her 4 overs, and is a name that we will continue to mention throughout these opening Baker's dozen of games as we get through to Game 13. But the Renegades got it done, starting off with a win. Speaking of winning, the Hobart Hurricanes picked up where they left off in the Spring Challenge, defeating the Sydney Thunder. It was a comfortable win for them. Lots of runs on offer. Denny White-Hodge got 90 of 52 balls, putting on a show. Nicola Carey joined in as well. 58 not out from 43 deliveries. We're really starting to see some bigger hitting from some of these female players in the Women's Big Bash, and it is great to see that's certainly going to get the crowds going. Speaking of big hitting, as we transition to game number 3, the Sydney Sixers defeated the Perth Scorchers by 10 wickets. And it was all set up with the bowling of Ash Gardner. The Aussie all-rounder spinner took 5 for 15. It is very rare we see a 5-wicket haul in T20 cricket at this level, but Gardner did it. 5 for 15 from 4 overs, absolutely bamboozling with her spin. She is just an absolute asset to this team that can perform with both the ball and the bat, some handy lower middle order hitting as well. She wasn't really required here, though, as Elise Perry, 47 not out from 37 deliveries, and Sophia Dunkley, 61 not out from 40, going at a clip of 150, got the job done, steering the Sixers to a 10-wicket win over the Scorchers, a big result for them. Moving on to game number 4, and the Melbourne Stars, despite posting 5 for 184 in the first innings, unfortunately were probably starved by the rain of a result. 4.2 overs Adelaide got through in response before the rain would halt play and mean that the match did not constitute a full match. You need 5 overs for Duckworth-Lewis-Stern to kick in. So a great batting display from the Stars. Meg Lanning getting 60 on 41 deliveries. Annabelle Sutherland continuing on her wonderful form, 54 not out from 39. But alas, there was no result to be had. On to the next game, game 5, and it was the Melbourne Renegades going back-to-back, making it 2 from 2 and 0 from 2 for their opponents, the Sydney Thunder, as this time Georgia Wareham not only starred with the ball, but also with the bat, getting 59 from 32 deliveries, and then picking up 2 for 25 from her 4 overs. Not only striking, but being economical, she continues to be a dangerous all-round threat, and she was a key part of the Renegades getting their second win of the Women's Big Bash season. As we go on to Game 6, and there was some runs on offer here as the Perth Scorchers defeated the Brisbane Heat. Beth Mooney, 105 from 73 deliveries, the first and currently only century of the Women's Big Bash thus far. The Aussie international absolutely clattering it. Also, a big talking point out of this one, the Brisbane Heat suffering 4 runouts in their chase. Not an ideal scenario for them. They probably need to be working on that whilst they were in pursuit of a score. Unfortunately, they chased a little too hard and fell short in Game 6. Moving to Game 7, and it was the Hobart Hurricanes in their winning form, defeating the Sydney Sixers in this one, and it was Hayley Silver-Holmes getting it done with the ball. 3 for 18 from her 4 overs, and then Lizelle Lee, the recently naturalised Australian South African international of note, 55 from 33 deliveries, blazing away for the Hurricanes, getting them home to defeat the Sydney Sixers in Game 7 of the Women's Big Bash. Trickling on to Game 8, and the Melbourne Stars got one up thanks to Duckworth-Lewis. They defeated the Perth Scorchers. Meg Lanning scored 90 not out from just 55 deliveries, 10 fours and 3 sixes. It was a phenomenal effort. Perth chasing after the rain between innings, had a reduced innings to chase. Sophie Day taking 3 for 7 late in that chase for the Stars to really set the cat amongst the pigeons and give them a key win. As we move on to Game 9, the Renegades suffered their first defeat as the Strikers got it done, led by the batting of one of these superstars from the recent Women's World Cup. That was Laura Woolvart, 71 not out of 48 deliveries for the South African international. We talked about it after the Women's World Cup when we unpacked India's historic win there, and we said that she would be one to watch once she hit the ground running with the Strikers, and certainly over the back part of this season. We're looking forward to seeing what sort of blasting she can conjure. But Laura Woolvart steering Adelaide to win in game number 9. Game 10, the Hurricanes continued their wonderful form. As I said, they took out that spring challenge and they continued on. They defeated the Heat by 9 wickets in a 12-over match where there was some rain interruptions. Lizelle Lee, again, getting the runs. 59 not out of 45 deliveries. She is certainly a power hitter, that is for sure. A wonderful striker of the ball, and she is such a key piece for this Hobart Hurricanes team as they chalked their third victory. When we move on to game number 11, it was the Sydney Sixers consigning their crosstown rivals, the Sydney Thunder, to a third straight defeat and a very challenging start to the Thunder's season. But the biggest talking point out of this was young gun Kiva Bray, who took 4 for 15 from her 4 overs, but most notably across 2 overs, including getting other young gun Phoebe Litchfield, managed to take a hat-trick. She took a wicket off the last ball of her sixth over, and then she took 2 wickets off the first 2 balls of the 8th over as well. And she was more stunned than anyone when she was informed after that third wicket that she had, in fact, taken a hat-trick. The teenage superstar is certainly a name to watch, although she has suggested that she may still like to pursue some of her footballing dreams, playing the round ball code as well. But she's certainly one to watch. She's handy with the bat as well. She's a bowling all-rounder. We look forward to seeing what she can continue to deliver, certainly for the Sydney Sixers, but on the bigger stages for New South Wales and undoubtedly Australia in due course. We're looking forward to seeing more and more of young Kiva Bray. It's a name to watch. We move on to game number 12, and it was the Perth Scorchers defeating the Adelaide Strikers. Again, Duckworth Lewis. We had rain at the end of this one, actually curtailed the Scorchers' innings, which meant that they only got through 9.1 overs, but the total they'd amassed at that point was enough under Duckworth Lewis-Stern to get the job done and get the victory over the Strikers, which then meant that Sophie Devine ended up being the star with her bowling, just due to the fact that there wasn't as much batting in this one. 3 for 12 from her, 3 overs, a great effort from Sophie Devine, again, just always in and amongst it. And the final game that we'll be wrapping up on this episode, game 13. The Renegades defeated the Stars, the defending champions, keeping the wood over their crosstown rivals. And interestingly, it was their 7th bowler they used who took the wickets and did most of the damage for the Renegades and set them up for a successful chase. Deandra Dotton getting 3 for 20, despite being the 5th change bowler, the West Indian all-rounder. Undoubtedly, we'll see some more of the ball based on this performance. A wonderful one that led their team, I should say, to that win over their crosstown rivals, and continue to set them up as one of the teams to beat, not only as the defending champions, but sitting up towards the pointy end of the table. Speaking of the table, let's take a look at who is sitting where on the table and who is leading the way in the golden bat and the golden cap races for the leading run scorers and leading wicket takers in the Women's Big Bash in this edition. So when it comes to the points table, it is the Hobart Hurricanes, unsurprisingly, 3 from 3 from their 3 matches, sitting with a very positive net run rate of just over 1. They're sitting as the leaders. The Melbourne Renegades, the defending champions, sit second there. They are 3 from 4. They've put together some wins on their way. They've got a positive net run rate of 0.23 and also 6 points, but have played the extra game. Sydney Sixers, the ladies in magenta, always a threat, sit in third. They are 2 wins from their 3 games. And a similar net run rate, actually, to that of the Hurricanes, plus 0.98. So sitting very pretty. Equal on points with them is the Perth Scorchers. Like the Renegades, they've played an additional game. So they're on 4 points, but a negative 0.745 run rate. So a little bit of work to do. Their next game up is against Sydney Thunder, though, who we'll touch on in a moment, quite a way down the ladder. In 5th place, the Adelaide Strikers, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 no result. Sees them on 3 points, equal with the Melbourne Stars, also 1 win, 1 loss, 1 no result. The Strikers slightly superior net run rate, 0.323 versus 0.091. And then it is down to the Thunder and the Heat, who are bringing up the rear of the ladder. They sit in 7th and 8th, respectively. No wins from 3 games. Negative 0.787, the net run rate for the Thunder, while for the Heat, they've been drubbed a little. So they are negative 1.115. Work to do. The good news for them is their next game will be against fellow cellar dwellers, the Sydney Thunder. The Thunder will be aiming to get the win over the Scorchers in the lead-up to try and advance their cause and get that first win of the season. Who will be the last team to win a game? That might be the million-dollar question here in the Women's Big Bash. We look forward to seeing what that is. Let's talk about, though, the star performers. And we talked before, when it comes to wicket taking, Georgia Wareham sits atop the pops. She has 7 wickets from 16 overs in her 4 games. Then we've got a cluster of 4 bowlers on 6 wickets. We've got Kiva Bray. We've got Ash Gardner. We also have Tess Flintoff from the Melbourne Renegades. And finally on Shabnim Ismail, the South African quick for the Sydney Thunder, also on 6 wickets. And then there's quite a host on 5 as well. Silver Holmes, Deandra Dotton, Graham from the Hurricanes, and Sophie Devine, all with 5 wickets as well. But the one to watch there, Kiva Bray, an average of 5.33 for her wickets. Some really good economy rates there too. Wareham and Bray leading the way with 5 and 4.5 respectively. So absolutely starring. When we have a look at the leading run scorers, so far it is Danny Wyatt, who is there at 179 runs atop the leaderboard. Meg Lanning second at 153. No surprises, Beth Mooney with that century, the only player to get a century so far. She's sitting on 139. Lizelle Lee with those 2 half centuries, like Meg Lanning, 2 half centuries to her name. Lizelle Lee on 127. And then we go down, Georgia Wareham there as well, 123 in 5th place. So that is absolutely phenomenal when you think about it. She's first on the wicket takers. She's 5th on the run scorers. She is an all-round superstar and absolutely killing it for the Women's Big Bash at the moment. Then you go down to Courtney Webb and Sophie Dunkley on 120 and 110, respectively. Annabelle Sutherland on 100. They're all the scorers in triple figures. So we have in total 8 women who've scored in triple figures this season so far. And remembering, we are just 13 games into a prolonged tournament that once we get through the regular round games, we'll see us somewhere in the realm of 40 regular season round games. So about a third of the way through the round games. Speaking of those round games, they get will continue on tonight with match 15, which will see those Hurricanes take on the Adelaide Strikers. This is a blockbuster clash, 2 top-tier teams coming together. The Strikers are building into form. We then hit into the Thunder playing the Scorchers on Wednesday night. Thursday night, we'll see the Hurricanes and the Renegades take each other on at North Sydney in a doubleheader with the Stars and the Sixers on home territory. And then Friday night, that cellar dwellers battle, Brisbane Heat versus Sydney Thunder. We'll be back next week to recap some more games once we get to the point of what we're probably looking at in terms of probably another 9 or 10 matches being under the belt, maybe Monday or Tuesday next week. So we're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, of course, make sure to hit subscribe. Let us know down below in the comments who you think is going to be the big improvers. Are we going to see someone slide? Is the competition going to stay about where it is? Is it a 2-horse race between the Hurricanes and the Renegades? Do you see the Strikers throwing their hat in the mix? Maybe tonight's game will tell us a lot more. But certainly hit subscribe on your favourite platform. You can hit the bell notifications as well. And you can find us on social media at The Chris Mack Show on all your favourite social media platforms. Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook. We're there on all of them, keeping you up to date in between our episodes. But in the meantime, a big thank you for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you again soon on your home of the black and white of sport. No grey opinions here.